A forgotten artifact lies in pieces on a planet far from Earth. Few know it exists except those who took it back and those whose ancestors created it. 4 young people are thrown into a race against emissaries of the gods to find its pieces. Mistrust, greed, and magic are tangled in an endless web. What will the fate be of the universe once it is found and reassembled? Get Scepter of the Gods, The Rod of Truth now on Amazon, and get wrapped up in the saga that will not let you go.
You are listening to the best of the Motivational Devotional. This episode originally aired on October 13, 2023, and was titled Relentless Intent. Original episodes of the Motivational Devotional will return Monday, March 4.
Good morning, and welcome to the Motivational Devotional, where we are merging motivation and spirituality to create a daily dose of confident positivity. I hope that this morning's podcast will help you to be more spiritually and positively motivated so that you can transform your day.
Even with 145 episodes uploaded of the Motivational Devotional, I am more excited about this one than any of the rest for one simple reason. This concept of relentless intent is what I have personally found to be the engine behind all the rest of the things we talk about here. Now, I wouldn't have written, recorded, and uploaded the previous 145 if I hadn't been excited about those, and I deeply believe in all the principles on the Motivational Devotional. It's just that, especially more recently, I have been personally experiencing the power and the easily overlooked capacity of intent. When intent is brought into microfocus, meaning a brilliant point of focus for an extended period of time, making the effort relentless, the energy and confidence and momentum it creates in your life is incomparable. I've been wanting to write this episode for days, but I can't make it a 6-hour episode. I try to keep these between 5 and 10 minutes. I've already used up at least 15 seconds, so instead of all the different examples I have thought up for this concept, I will keep us laser focused on one. Maybe. When is the last time you blew out candles on a birthday cake? People have gotten smart by putting number candles on cakes instead of a number of candles on a cake. Imagine having to blow out 40, 50, 60, or even more candles. I mean, at some point, it would make more sense to ice the thing after the candles are done because the candles would pull all of it off anyway. Anytime you see people blowing out the candles, they blow at them and maybe blow out most of them at best. If the cake had decades worth of candles, a person would have to put out a lot of effort, right? You could blow once with a puff or even push all the air in your lungs out over the top of the cake, gasping to get another breath, but it wouldn't be enough to blow them all out. I grew up being told that I would only get my wish if I blew out all the candles. I couldn't do it at 12 years old. But here's a bigger thing, and it isn't a superstition or a silly tradition. This is fact. We don't get what we wish for in life if we try to blow it out all at once just the first time. Okay, here's a second example, and I'll try to just keep it at 2. If you were at a carnival and you picked up a big sledgehammer to slam it onto the pad and shoot a thing up to try to make it ring a bell, that would be like one huge breath trying to blow out all the birthday candles. See what I did there? Yeah, right. Both are examples of a burst of energy to accomplish a really big thing. What happens when it doesn't do the whole job? You do it again? Maybe. But even then, it's another burst that would have to be followed by another burst. With the carnival bell, you're starting over every time like that. At least with the birthday candles, you're picking up where the last breath left off, and eventually, after being relentless with your puffs, you would get that last pesky candle blown out. Time to sit down and take some deep breaths so you don't pass out. Okay, so even though the candle example gives you something of an idea of relentless effort, it still falls short. So we'll go with 3 examples, and we'll keep it at 3. We all have dreams for our lives, and most of us set some goals based on our dreams, and when we really get focused, we make task lists for those goals so we can make some progress. If you take the carnival sledgehammer approach, Then you hit a task or two really hard, or maybe even take a big swing at an entire goal, and when the first, the second, even the third slam at it doesn't ring the bell, you give up. Maybe it wasn't meant to be. Maybe it's just too hard. Time to rethink it, and heck, who needs that anyway, right? Just give it up. This goal-setting thing must not be for everybody. Or maybe you take the birthday candle approach and you blow and then blow again, and you feel like you're making progress getting your goal accomplished, but then more candles show up. Or maybe you accidentally suck in some saliva on an intake of breath and you lose some momentum. What do those candles represent again? What are we doing here? Why do we need all these things blown out? I can't remember because I've been so focused on blowing all of them out that I've forgotten the main reason for the whole thing. People do that with goals all the time. And then after a lot of relentless effort, they've moved their focus from the dream onto the work of getting this done. And that, and that, and instead of working towards something, they're just simply working. And instead of the wish they had, they just have a lot of messy candle wax. So they let other things dissipate their energy. So our third, and I think we really will stick with just 3, example is rowing a canoe upstream in sight of a waterfall. Okay, yeah, maybe a tad more needless drama thrown in there, but why not? Let's keep this fun. So here we are, in a canoe, rowing or paddling, whatever one does in a canoe. You can't take the approach of the carnival bell and do one huge, really deep dig with a paddle and expect to make progress upstream away from the waterfall. A little more similar to the birthday candles, you paddle with deep strokes again and again and again. But here in this canoe, we don't lose sight of what we foresee, which is to not go over the falls, and it is to go far enough upstream to get where we want to be. Yeah, maybe this example finally does it. At no point before getting to where I would want to be could I stop paddling. I would have to paddle relentlessly. I would have to stay focused on where I want to be, and so I would have to maintain focused intent rather than focusing on where I don't want to be, which is the bottom of the falls. More than the paddling being relentless, my intent would also have to be relentless. Both would have to be continually applied to get where I would be able to stop and do something else. Getting where I want to be would be a huge effort of relentless intent. So, I've learned in my life, and massively so this year, that I cannot live into the dream I have for my life with the carnival sledgehammer method. There is no such thing as a one-and-done method for changing your life to be what you want it to be and becoming who you want to be. The birthday candle method is also not going to do it for you. Hard work never made anybody happy. Lose sight of your dreams and you're just simply working hard and becoming the very object of that old Jethro Tull song, Locomotive Breath, with no way to slow down. Hard work is important, but it has to be combined with intent, and we should never lose sight of the intent behind the hard work. But it can't be intermittent either. And make no mistake, no matter how empowered we are by God's infinite spirit within, God don't paddle the canoe. You do. That part, the relentless intent, is up to you. My life was nowhere near where I wanted it to be, and I'm still a long way from where I'm going to be. But I've realized enough progress away from the waterfall to know 100% that the further you are from your audacious dream, the more relentless you have to be with your intent, and the longer it will take before you start to know you are further upstream. Every day, all the time, every week, every available thought, every available resource is applied to the intent so that it becomes real. You've no doubt heard that old phrase that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Well, it's true, because intent all on its own is powerless without relentless effort. It takes both. That's why I am so pumped up about this concept. This is the one main thing you and I can do to make a difference from this year to next year. Change your life, not with a sledgehammer, not with a lot of huffing and puffing. Change it with the relentless intent of paddling furiously for as many years as it takes, and truly be relentless about it, never losing sight of your intent, because along the way you will absolutely know that all of creation is conspiring in your favor. Trust that the universe always has your back, because it really does. CEO of Girls Who Code, Rishma Saljani, said, "Never give up. People will always discount you, and you'll always get rejected. But set your sights high. Be boldly ambitious. Be relentless, and never give up."
Thank you for taking the time to listen today. Please help keep this podcast going by following the Motivational Devotional Facebook page, following @Threefold Way Radio on Twitter, and sharing the written format of today's message from motivational-devotional.com on your social media. I am deeply grateful for your support, and thank you for letting Motivational Devotional be part of your journey. Peace out. See you tomorrow. Motivational Devotional is a production of Threefold Way Radio, LLC.